What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another installment of Ask PJ Braun here at Blackstone Labs headquarters. Coming at you with another Skype special guest. This week we have Mike the Compass, also owner, operator, CEO of St. Michael Clothing.
Yep.
I would assume that you're all those things. He has over 500,000 or right around 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, mostly sneaker related, but he every Tuesday gets into a different topic on Topic Tuesdays, and I've actually been following those pretty closely myself. You guys might want to check those out if you're looking for a little bit extra Mike content after this podcast. And he recently has gotten into using some Blackstone Lab supplements. I seen him make a post a little while back about wanting to improve his legs, and I was like, yo, let's get together and work a little bit on this project and see what we can do. And I sent him some stuff, just like beginner natural products, and I think he's been getting great results so far myself. I keep checking in with him about once a week at least, if not a little bit more, on different routines and stuff like that. So there's a little idea I had to bring him on and have PJ talk to the guy and see exactly what's been going on with his results on his end as far as he feels about using the products.
Which products is he using?
I've sent him Apex Male, Anagenin, Juiced Up. I've sent him a variety of stuff. I think the most recent one I sent him was Halo Elite, which is one of my favorites.
Have you used all of them?
No, he's
Yeah.
natural.
Oh,
He's used
are you asking have I used what he said?
everything that he sent, yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time or like one after the other?
Originally, well, I guess the newest shipment or the last two shipments have been Halo, but before that I was using androgen,
Anagenin.
and yeah, that's my favorite, honestly.
Anagenin is.
Yeah.
Well, because when I first reached out to him, I didn't want to be like, hey, I want to send you like steroids or
Yeah.
anything like that, because everybody's gonna be like, whoa, bro, I don't know you, guy. So I was like, no, I'm gonna send you all natural stuff, get you started out with like Apex Male, Anagenin, EpiCat, that kind of the all natural routine.
So how long were you working out for before you started using any of our stuff?
About a year. So he hit me up, yeah, a year after. So I was I was weighing 215 pounds. I couldn't fit in any of my shirts, which was just depressing. And I got down to 185, and then he ended up hitting me up because I was saying, like, I don't want to be walking around with like chicken legs,
Mm-hmm.
And then Josh hit me up, and we just kind of went from there.
So you just got into the gym because you had gotten too heavy and you wanted to get in shape?
Yeah, basically. I mean, so I played college basketball, so I've always been like athletic and in shape, but this whole like fitness, I guess you would say, journey has been something that I've been chasing since I was like 16. And I think my biggest problem was being complacent. And then as far as YouTube goes, I started originally the fitness channel, and sneakers is what really blew up, so I kind of pushed it away.
Wait, you started with a fitness channel?
Yeah, so it's called Asylum Workouts. It was like 6 years ago. A lot of people don't even know about it.
That's insane. I didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
That's
I've
awesome.
really been trying to do this for a long time.
So
it's not disciplined
it was
enough.
called Silent Workouts?
Asylum Workouts.
Oh, Asylum Workouts.
We're getting a little bit of lag right now.
Yeah, there's a
so-
little bit of lag for some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was like 7 years ago. It was called Asylum Workouts. And it was around when intermittent fasting became really popular on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I started the channel then, and it did pretty well. I was like 16, 17, and I was going to the gym a lot, but I was really skinny. But when you're younger, like in high school, you think you're just super like shredded, but you're really nothing.
Really
I was
just
like
skinny as fuck.
175.
Were you also intermittent fasting?
Yeah. So I would go to school. Actually, I would wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, intermittent fast throughout the whole day. Then I would go do basketball workouts, go to school, and then I'd finally break my fast during lunch. And I got like really lean. Like my face was just like sucked up. My veins were just popping. I was like super skinny. It was like unhealthy.
How long were you doing that for?
2 years.
And what made you stop?
Once I got to college, I needed to bulk up because I was playing some grown men.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because I actually do intermittent fasting. So it seems that there are a lot of people in our industry that are sort of anti intermittent fasting because they believe that it's not optimal for gaining muscle, which I don't really argue that either. But I think just to get in shape and lose weight and be lean, it's great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's easier to monitor what you're eating, if you're eating once or twice a day,
Yep.
especially if you get all your calories in.
What position were you playing in basketball?
Point guard, shooting guard,
And were you
and
guys
guard.
working out with weights?
No, we weren't. It was just all up and down, sprinting.
So you didn't get
And
into
then,
working out with weights till after basketball?
yeah, honestly, I mean, I've been going to the gym by myself, lifting weights, but I think in between trying to do that, I was doing more like high interval training,
Okay.
low weight, high reps, and I think that's why I never really put on muscle, you know. Between doing that and going to basketball practice and trying to eat as much as possible between the workouts, I mean, I'm burning so many calories at the time. I never really gained weight. I think that the most I got in college was probably like 185.
Did you ever feel weak or like a lack of energy when you were playing basketball, eating like that?
No, not at all. I
Yeah,
felt
that's
great.
good. People ask me all the time. They're like, do you have shitty workouts or how do you do the cardio after and not eat? But I feel good.
Yeah, I felt amazing. I think everyone's different. Like for me, I'm the type of person to like get right into it. Some people like to ease into it. I don't. Like when I heard about intermittent fasting the next day, I was ready to go on an 18-hour fast. Like I didn't ease into it. I don't like doing that. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I don't
necessary.
either. I eat from 6 p.m. to midnight. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, see, those are good times then.
Yeah,
So
I
throughout the
get
day,
up.
you're just so busy, you don't have to worry about it,
I don't
right?
like I don't like having to stop doing what I'm doing to eat. It slows me down. So I wake up usually around 5ish, do a bunch of emails, get on Pornhub, finish Pornhub, go to the gym, get back from the gym, usually do my
Keep your mind
cardio.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Got to do it.
I usually do my cardio after the gym at like 9 or 10, and then I run around all day, and I don't want to slow down and eat and be relaxed eating. So when my day is done, when the work day is done, I go home and I relax and I eat, and that's the best time. You just sit around and eat
Yeah.
and chill. And I find that I've been doing this since September last year,
Okay.
pretty much. And I was in pretty good shape when I started doing it, but I got in just progressively better and better shape. And the big thing that I try to teach people all the time is, yes, you can eat as clean or healthy as you want to, but when you're intermittent fasting, you don't really have to worry about counting your calories or what you're actually eating. You just eat in that feeding window. And that's really the main rule. You just have to stay in that window every day. Like if your window is 12 to 8, you just got to make sure you're eating 12 to 8 every day. And I'm not saying you should go eat McDonald's for all those meals, but you really, like I was talking to Orangutan and Christina Pilo, who they're photographer and makeup artist that shoot a lot of our girls. And
Yeah.
he lost like 60 something pounds.
Insane.
And she lost like over 30 pounds intermittent fasting. And they told me straight up, they're like, we don't really watch what we eat at all. We eat what we want. We just eat. He was saying he basically only eats 1 or 2 times, but he eats
Yeah.
whatever he wants in those 1 or 2 times. So like personally, I would rather, like, I know that if I wanted to get back into bodybuilding again, I would just switch up, get on a normal bodybuilder diet, and I'd go right into it fine, because that would be, mentally what I know I would have to do to be the best that I could be. But
Yeah.
for just living life and wanting to feel good and look how I feel pretty good, I find that intermittent fasting is actually very easy.
Yeah, no, I think the thing about fitness in general, everyone makes it way more complicated than it needs to be. Like
Yep.
it's like every aspect. You know what you got to do, but it's discipline, right? I mean, at the end of the day,
So
it's not as complicated as people make it.
but you're not intermittent fasting anymore.
No, I haven't been. I'm kind of like very inconsistent with it. So I'll do like the breakdown of how I was doing fasting. I would say when I was, let's say 2017, I was going really heavy with fasting, and then I stopped. So 2018 was like more so like the end of 2017 through 2018. I didn't fast. I didn't work out. I just shoved hot wings and Cheetos, whatever I could, cream, and then I went from like 185 up to 215. And I incorporated the keto diet, which I would love to hear what you guys think about that.
The keto
And
diet?
the keto diet helped me. Started April 25th last year, and I went from 215 back down to 185. And that's kind of where I'm
Yeah, I was a
like,
big keto advocate for a long time. I still am. So when every year we do what's called the Beat PJ Transformation Contest. And, this year we had like over 500 people that did it. And we give, there's 4 diets that they can choose from. There's a men's weight loss diet, a men's weight gain diet, and the same ones for women. And the men's weight loss diet every year is always a keto diet because I just know you're going to lose weight if you follow the keto diet the right way. Men do great with keto. Women have a little bit trickier time, I've noticed, because women, it's most of it is, part of it is absolutely hormonal, but psychologically, women have a very hard time not eating carbs. They just do. It's just a very, 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 like, they get stressed out real bad about it. Guys are fine. So you put a guy on a keto diet, he can stay on it and just keep losing weight, feeling good. I actually even competed in 2007 on a full keto diet. The only reason I didn't stay with it after that, I got shredded, but it was hard for me to fill out the right way when I needed to get on stage. And so that's what made me switch off it. But I told everyone, as far as getting in very good shape, the keto diet is a very, very effective diet.
For sure. That's awesome.
So are you still doing keto now?
No. So 2 weeks ago, I started incorporating carbs again just because I felt like, I guess from what I read is you just can't build muscle. I feel like I just kind of stalled. Like I wasn't losing body fat, nor was I gaining any more muscle. I was just kind of getting a pump and staying the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like maybe I need to incorporate some carbs to help. Right now, I'm just like at a stall, I feel like.
What about your strength?
To send him some glycolog then if he's eating carbs now.
Yeah. My strength is good. I'm lifting heavier, but I don't know. I'm just at a weird place.
Did you lose strength when you were doing the keto diet?
No, not at all. I kept going up.
That's another thing. People think you can't be strong without carbs. It's false. You can absolutely still be strong.
Do you think you can put on muscle though?
I think it's much harder to put on muscle without carbs. I do. Okay. I think it's that was part of the reason why when I was competing I went away from it. But I think that you can get absolutely ripped on a keto diet. A lot of it is also based around your specific body type and your metabolism, because if you have a faster metabolism, you're just going to have to eat carbs. Like Josh, if he didn't eat carbs, he'd be 130 pounds, Right. So, he has to eat a lot of carbs. But then you have people, that can look at carbs and get fat. So it's part of that is genetic. But the insulin response that you get from eating carbohydrates and what glycogen does as far as energy and muscle, with the muscle, there's an absolute, in my opinion, necessity for having carbs, at least at certain points when you're trying to grow, whether it's pre-workout, post-workout, or both, because the anabolic response that you get to the insulin production. But I mean, many people I find care a lot more about being ripped than being bigger. So when people ask me, what kind of plans to put them on, if somebody asks me how to get big, they usually don't like the answer because I tell them to eat more food, period. They want some special diet or special foods that they can eat, but you have to just eat food.
Like they want you to tell them, like, you have to eat 3 apricots at sun, when the sun is going down on the 5th of every month.
So what I want to know now is, we could keep talking about the dieting, of course, for hours, but so I didn't know that you had a fitness page. I just thought you were always doing the sneakers. So let's go back. I want to know how you went from fitness into sneakers and how the sneaker got to be as big as it was. So how long did you actually have the fitness page for?
Okay, so I started, let's see.
Or channel, I should say. It's called in the YouTube where it's not really a page.
Yeah, so I got a problem. Like, I like to bounce around. I can't just do one thing at one time. Like, I just like to have so many different projects.
You have ADHD.
Yeah, honestly, especially as far as like content creation, because I don't like being trapped in a box. I feel like I'll have a lot to offer, right? So I started the workout. I started a singing channel, actually. This is funny. So I started a singing channel, transitioned into fitness because I've always loved fitness. I did that for a year. Then I started another fitness channel because I'm like, this one's dedicated towards fasting. Like, it was literally just about fasting and the insanity workout. Do you guys remember that?
Of course, yeah.
Like P90X,
so
right?
I had a whole transformation video that I did on that, and that's like 7 years ago. And then I went into like fasting. Since I was a teenager at the time, I was talking about like pre-workout supplements, creatine, and then I transitioned to another channel called Instinct Gains. I don't know where I come up with these names. And that went on for like 2 years, I'd say. And I just kept fluctuating. I still, to this day, my biggest problem is, do I want to get big or do I want to get shredded?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll work to get big, and then I'll be like, oh, I look kind of fat. So I want to lose weight. And then I'll lose weight, and then I'll be like, oh, now I don't look as big. So I've just constantly kept doing that. In reality, I just want to be shredded, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty common though.
But you also, you come to the realization that looking shredded is actually only really desirable looking if you're big.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's a catch-22.
It's like being on a teeter-totter. Like,
right.
I just have kept doing that to the point where I feel like I don't have any results at all because I keep going back and forth when I just need to stick to one thing.
You just stick to one thing for at least long enough for it to make a noticeable change that when you switch back, you can say, oh, damn, well, I'm shredded again, but I'm way bigger than the last time I was shredded.
Exactly.
That's the trick.
How many subscribers did you have on the fitness channel?
Let's check this out. So Asylum Workout only had 220 subscribers.
What happened? You didn't really talk too much about the singing channel. That one just didn't last that long.
That's just one that we're gonna keep in the dark.
What kind of singing were you doing?
R&B. I would do covers.
Nice.
What kind of like Jodeci, R. Kelly?
I would do Joe, Chris Brown. I loved it. It was.
Pete is a big R&B.
I know. We at my house. My house. If you come in at any time, it stays on 90s R&B in my house.
Oh, that's
always.
All the time.
Always. That's funny. So that one didn't go too long, huh?
Yeah, it could have went longer. I just think I don't know. I just kind of got embarrassed about it, I guess. I don't know.
Are you good? Do you feel like you're good?
Nah.
No?
We're going to just keep that on the dark web.
Keep it on the dark web.
So then...
Are any of those videos out there?
Yeah, probably.
You should throw those back. Now that you have all the subscribers, you should throw that back, little throwback action for everybody.
People would like it. I should. I seriously, so I had Mike Mitchell Sings, Mike Mitchell Tech. I did tech reviews, iPhone. Then I went over to Mike Mitchell TV, which was like comedy skits that's still up on the internet. Then I started doing like inspirational videos. I've been like all over the place. A lot of people don't know.
Dude, I didn't know that. That's really awesome. That just goes to show you like too many people put like all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Whereas like, dude, this dude's got chickens on every farm across the fucking internet. Right. And look, sneakers are the one that hit.
I feel like YouTube is a tool, you know?
It is.
It's not a career. It's definitely a tool to grow businesses, and that's what I've been trying to do. And you have your ups and your downs. Like, it is what it is. But, yeah, I started the sneaker channel just for fun. I was playing college basketball and going to school, and sneakers was just kind of cool, you know? Like, it wasn't really trending at the time, and it just randomly blew up. I made one video. It hit like 1.4 million views overnight. And I ended up quitting basketball, barely graduated.
Wow.
I was like, I'm about to start all these businesses. I'm good.
He's like, yo, fuck shooting hoops. I just got this video that hit 1.4. I'm out.
Exactly. So I kind of just abandoned the fitness channels. I still worked out. Like, my hours were so messed up with the intermittent fasting. I would go to the gym at like midnight, be there until 2 a.m. I'd eat. It was messed up. I don't know what I was doing. My sleep schedule was all jacked up. And the sneaker channel just kept blowing up, and I was like, man, I kind of want to get back into fitness. I was still like trying to lift, and again with that teeter-totter, oh, I look fat, oh, I look lean, oh, I'm too small, blah, blah, blah. And I changed the channel Instant Gains to Mike Fittest. And then it got like 5,000 subscribers. I announced it on my sneaker channel. I'm like, yo, guys, I'm going to do this fitness thing. And people were so excited at the time, and I just blew it off. I was traveling all over the world, which I'm not complaining, but just kind of fell off, and I didn't fulfill those promises, and Mike Fittest is still there.
What were you traveling so much for?
So we had like sneaker cons. I had a deal with them where I would fly to each sneaker con. It's like a big convention. It's almost like, what does the fitness industry have? You guys were in LA.
It's like the Olympia.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for sneakers.
So it's a huge, sneaker event where they have influencers come and we get to meet all our fans. And it was crazy. Like New York was crazy, London, Germany.
Wow.
Like just to know that you have fans there is insane.
Yeah, that was cool. I didn't even know that they did that. So you traveled all around the world?
Yeah, everywhere. Like,
how many? Tell us some of the places that you went.
London, Berlin, everywhere in the United States.
All of this for talking about sneakers?
Yeah, just that's it. That's all I do.
Amazing.
Make sneaker videos.
Amazing.
And flying everywhere and just kind of getting to experience different cultures. There was Japan, Hong Kong, Australia. I didn't get to go to those, but
that would have been cool.
Throughout the United States, I've been everywhere just for it.
Now, how did you get involved in that? Somebody reached out to you?
No, I actually tweeted, man, I'd love to go to SneakerCon, but these flight prices. It was I didn't really have any money at the time,
Mhm.
so I'm like, yo, SneakerCon, these flight prices. And they DM me, they're like, yo, we'll cover your flight and your hotel, and I'm like, okay. And
Wow, how
then
cool is that? See,
yeah,
that's what happens when you take initiative to do things, guys.
yeah,
Yep.
it's true.
Sometimes you got to go out and ask.
I mean, realistically, this podcast is happening right now because he posted up a thing saying like something about his legs, and I was like, "Yo, let me help you out with that." And
Yeah.
here we are. Like,
Yeah, and it's cool because it was like perfect timing too, you know?
What
Like
year was this when this all started happening?
when
When you
what I'm talking about,
when you tweeted to SneakerCon.
oh, that was 2016.
Damn. So have you done that every year?
I slowed down this past year. The last SneakerCon I went to was in Denver, and the one before that was Fort Lauderdale, but I haven't really went to any more.
I tried to catch him at Fort Lauderdale, but I wasn't there long enough.
Yeah, that
Oh.
was hectic.
Yeah, but I'm gonna either catch a snow trip out to him, or he's gonna come catch a beach trip out here sometime soon.
Hey,
That's cool.
I gotta catch a beach trip.
You gotta do it.
Why? Where are you, by the way, Mike?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, in Colorado.
Yeah.
My dad is a huge Broncos fan.
Is he?
Huge, yeah, huge Broncos fan.
Pretty good.
I actually got him to last year. I was able to get him field passes, and him and my mom got to go down on the field and meet a bunch of the players and stuff at a game against the Raiders, actually, which is a good game to go to.
That's all. Where do they live then? Are they in Florida too? Or?
They're in Florida. They're from Connecticut, but my dad just grew up a Broncos fan. He's a huge John Elway fan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, super random because I don't really know any other Broncos fans, because we're from the Northeast, so everybody's either a
Yeah.
Jets, Giants, or Patriots fan, and everybody down here is a Dolphins
That
fan.
is,
Right.
that's so random. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he just loved the
I
Broncos.
mean, our teams are killing it this past year. They did really good. They
Yeah.
put Colorado on the map.
Yeah. Plus, you guys were the first ones to legalize weed, so everybody goes out there for that now too.
Dude, and they're the first ones to
Everybody-
legalize mushrooms.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Shrooms.
Crazy.
Psychedelic over here.
Are a lot of people running around doing shrooms out there now?
I don't know, not yet, but it's gonna happen. It's tough because we have so many people move here. Rent has gone up. The houses, like, you try to buy a house out here, it's like a crack house for 600, 700,000. It's like, it don't even make sense.
That's crazy.
All because of weed and mushrooms.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
How much are legal mushrooms costing? Do you know?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It just got legalized like maybe last month, I think.
I assume it can't be that expensive.
Well, I mean, like on the
Nah.
black market, they usually sell mushrooms for weed prices.
Yeah,
So I assume that it's got to be similar on the legal market.
that's
Those
hilarious.
dudes are making so much money. It's crazy.
They have to be. They're just growing fungus,
Yeah, and they grow it quick too.
Yeah.
Oh man. But
We
so
turn over- yes.
you said that the whole me reaching out to you thing happened at the perfect time. Why do you think that is? You were really looking to get back into the fitness industry right around now?
Yeah, I just felt like I lost all that weight, which was good for me because it made me need to be disciplined. You know, it's one thing to be skinny and then put on muscle. I think it's another thing to be like actually fatter and lose weight. It's tough. Like,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to do that, I think it really rewired my brain to want to be more disciplined. So then to have you reach out to me like, yo, I can help you out with this is just perfect timing. And the fact that I know a lot of my audience, whether they admit it or not, they want to be into fitness. Guys, a lot of them want to ask help. They don't want to admit, like they're low key at night watching fitness videos on how to curl or whatever.
How
you
to
know?
bench press,
Yeah.
how to do
Yeah,
calf
so-
raises.
You know, if people don't want to admit it, that's fine. I'll make videos about it, and I know they're watching.
Right, exactly.
So you're gonna bail out on all the sneaker stuff?
Nah, it collapsed perfectly. I want to move more towards just wellness in general, you know,
Mhm.
whether it be just how you look going down to how you dress and sneakers all together. It all comes together, you know?
Yeah.
So how much time a week do you dedicate to YouTube videos?
I try to drop three a week. So maybe like 4 hours a day. Trying to
4
come
hours
up
a
with
day?
Concepts, yeah, and ideas, and it's tough. It's pretty saturated right now.
I was gonna say, is it hard to come up with like fresh content?
Yeah, because it's like you'll make a video, but there's always someone out there that has probably made the same video.
Mm-hmm.
So people are like, oh, running out of ideas. And it's like, if I was running out of ideas, I wouldn't have made a video, dickhead. You know?
Yeah.
How are your, out of curiosity, how are your comments section on your videos? Because I've noticed, well, ours are horrible, so, but I don't want to go based on just ours, but
Yeah, so because of that, like, I just want to apologize in advance anything that like might negatively.
yeah, our
mentioned about
trolls
you.
are
We
probably
have
going to be hard
We have
on
some
you.
trolls, so
Oh, trust me, I've had some crazy comments. Like, it doesn't bother me.
I've had people say that they wish that I would just die on our videos before.
Kill myself or
Yeah, crazy. I would say that our comments are like probably at least 50% negative.
yeah, which I mean, 50% of the people are going to hate you, and 50% are going to love you. So
I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. I try to not read the YouTube comments that much because there's so many bad ones.
I do on certain videos. Certain videos, I'm like, I kind of want to see the hate on this one, but
I'll tell you, I think I might have told Josh this already. There was a day where it was shortly after the FDA raid, and we were just getting ripped apart all over the internet. And I sat one morning, and I was just reading all the comments on a bunch of our videos, and then other people's videos that were about us. And I don't know if it was just the day, but I came downstairs, and Marissa, my girlfriend, looked at me, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I just admittedly, and I know I'm going to get wrecked in the comments over this one, but I'll just put it out there. I actually, I just started to cry a little bit, and I was like, man, these people hate me so much, and I've never even met, like, all these people, for them to hate me so much, like some of the things that they're saying, like they want me to go to jail, and they hope that I rot in prison, and that I get raped in jail, and I'm a scumbag, and this and that. And I'm like, they don't even know the truth of the story, which I know in the end will all come out. I'm like, but it's crazy how people could be so fucking hateful, excuse my language, without ever even meeting me or knowing me. And it just, that one day, it just got me. And then, you know, she always says, stop reading all the comments, but sometimes I'm compelled to just keep reading them.
it's almost like a bad train wreck.
Yeah.
You can't look away.
Which, you know, that's awesome that you willingly, like, admit how vulnerable you were, because a lot of people don't. And comments can really, like, ruin your entire mood, your entire week. Like, I feel like the past 3 months have been so horrible for me, but you just got to put on a smile and keep, like, grinding in a sense. But yeah, comments are terrible. People have told me to kill myself. My channel's dying. I'm gonna go broke. Why am I selling? It's. I mean, there's other words I don't know if I can even say on here.
Yeah,
but
You can say whatever you want.
People just be saying some racist stuff. I think the comment that, like, bothers me the most is probably, like, people say I live with my mom, and just all the, like, crazy stuff when I pay, like, all the bills and stuff, you know?
Yeah. I find that most of the people that are putting out those comments, I think there's a very large percentage of them actually live in their mom's basements, though.
Oh, for sure.
Or if it's in Florida, we don't have basements, they're in the attic.
They're in the attic, yes.
Yeah, man. People are just fucking crazy how much they hate. I definitely get it. Like, I remember there was one time a couple of years ago where I got, like, ripped apart by all these grown men, and I'm, like, 18, and I'm thinking to myself, how are you, like, 30 years old hating on a kid?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, that don't even make sense.
Have you ever taken the time to write a hateful comment on somebody's video?
No, I've never even disliked it.
I know, me neither. It's so weird.
Yeah, and I think that's just being a creative in general. You don't. There's enough for everyone. You don't want to hate.
No.
Like, that only brings back that karma in a sense, right? Like,
yeah, it has to.
Sometimes I got a comment last night where someone said my channel fell off and I'm dead and my content isn't original. I just wanted to go fucking sock them in the face.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could.
Oh, trust me, I'd be going around America laying people out if I could get away with it.
Yeah, we have a hot spot for people like that.
But you also have those people, like, I've had tons of people come up to me like, yo, you remember that comment? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they said some crazy shit, right? And they're like, oh, that was me. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, man, I'm a huge fan.
That does happen a lot. That does happen a lot, though. It's so weird because so we have this kid, Jason Genova, right? And we've gotten so many trolls from him. And I'll meet these, like, you could just tell right when you look at them that they're assholes. Like, they've got that asshole smile. And they'll say something really assholey. and I'll say something back, and then they'll like kind of like get all shy, and they'll be like, I'm actually a huge fan of yours. I'm like, well, why are you starting out our introduction by saying something really douchey to me? You know, it's like happens all the time.
Yeah, our industry is also strange like that.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Sneakerheads are the worst.
Really?
Like, as far as trolls, but I guarantee fitness and sneakerhead like together, terrible.
Oh yeah,
like,
very.
What do the sneaker trolls troll on though? I mean, aren't you just for the most part giving your opinions on the shoes?
Yeah, but there's the whole like fakes concept, or you're scamming someone, or you just fucking trash, or
You're getting
ugly,
paid for
your
your
hairline's
opinion.
messed up. Just anything they can attack you on. Like anything.
Are people giving you like they're just giving you sneakers for free?
No, I got to pay for them. I've had deals where I've gotten tons of sneakers and clothes for free, but for the most part.
So how could you be scamming somebody if you're paying for them?
Exactly. So I do like real versus fake.
Okay.
And the whole reason I do it is to make sure, because sneakers run you, they can be up to $2,000.
Yeah.
You know, if they're limited. And I don't want someone to get scammed. Tons of people are scamming on eBay, different networks. So I buy a fake pair willingly. Tell people I buy a fake pair. Have the real pair. Yo, these are the differences. This is what I notice. Look out. Stay woke. But then someone's like, oh, what are you doing with the fake pair? You selling them on eBay? Oh, you selling them to so-and-so? I donate them. But I don't need to tell everybody, oh, I'm donating sneakers. I don't need to like tell people I'm a good person. Like a lot of people for some weird reason think I'm like a dickhead. But when they meet me, they got a whole different perspective. And that's been throughout my whole entire life. Like even in high school, when I was going from middle school to high school, all the varsity team or the basketball team, they hated me until they met me. I don't know if it's the way I carry myself.
I've watched a bunch of your videos recently, and there's nothing about you that I would think. But people say that to people all the time. I don't know. I get that a lot where people are like, man, I thought you were going to be such a dick, and you're really nice. And I'm like, why?
Well, I thought that about both of y'all, to be honest.
But you see, like, it's so weird.
It's also, I think it just has something to do with like I've talked to him about it before, like your perception of yourself and your perception of other people in the world.
Yeah.
So like when I first started working here, I was like, this dude is like super hardcore business, doesn't have time for my bullshit, just stay the fuck out of his way. And turned out to be the exact opposite. Like the first day that me and him really started to get to know each other, we were just both in the gym at the same time on a Friday. And I was like, yo, I'm just going to make sure not to bug this dude at all whatsoever. I'm going to let him get his workout in, not bother him like all the other fans and everybody else. And he came over to me and was like, what's up? What are you doing after this? And I was like, okay, true. Well, this guy's obviously pretty cool. Same thing with you. I was like, I feel like this dude's like a little bit too cool to like talk to me online with all of his followers and stuff. And like, you know, who am I with my fitness tips? And you were like, yeah, no, you're cool. So like, that's just how it is, you know, people's perception of themselves and other people and where they're at.
I actually assume that everybody, I'm actually probably, this is one of my flaws. I would say, I actually assume that everybody is good and everybody is nice first. And then it's up to them to fuck it up. Or it's up to somebody else to be like, no, that guy's actually really bad. You're just being really nice.
Yeah.
But I it's very rare that I like judge somebody being negative right away. I usually am like, oh, let's go meet this person. He's probably nice. And then I let them wreck themselves after that.
Yeah, I like that concept. I would say I'm more so like that too. Until you prove to me that you're a dickhead. Yeah. We're cool. Ain't got no problem.
It's a better way to be because you're not going to have any issues with people, especially ones that you don't know, until they give you a reason to.
Yeah, there's no reason to worry about them because they don't affect you.
So I actually noticed that there was a couple of comments on the post that you put up that I don't know if they're going to be in the inbox for the questions, but I wanted to make sure that we got those too because those were for him.
Yo, was Instagram broken last night? Did anybody notice that?
Yeah. Me and my girl both couldn't post anything.
I posted it and I got 30 likes.
Yeah, we only got like 47 or something like that.
Yeah.
That never happens. Instagram, I hate when that happens with Instagram because there are times when it happened actually about a week ago where we had a bunch of important stuff that we had to get out. We had our cyber bodybuilding contest, which is like I'm giving every class winner $2,000 cash just for fucking doing this thing. Excuse my language. And I'm like, how did nobody comment on this and there's no likes? Like, we're just giving away money. And then I went and I noticed I had posted a video of our most popular athlete, Keon Pearson, and it only got like 600 views when normally any video with him gets minimum 5,000 views. And I was like, there's no way that Instagram wasn't down. There had to be just something wrong with Instagram. So when that happens, if you put out something important, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Unless you take it down and redo it again.
I noticed a couple other people made posts today saying that they were like staring at their phone for hours last night. Like, why isn't this working? So
weird.
Something about that happened. But I don't know if you guys want to start getting into some questions.
Yeah, the one thing that I wanted to ask, though, is because I know that everybody else is going to ask this unless it's in the questions, is so for somebody that wants to go out and try to emulate you or be like you or some other, let's say, really known vlogger, whether it's for sneakers or whatever it may be, what do you think? Because there's a lot of people that ask us all the time, right? They're like, so how much money do you guys make on YouTube? And I explain to them, we really indirectly make money on all of our social media. We're not necessarily directly, some stuff we do, but we aren't specifically directly making money on our social media, but we're indirectly generating a lot of interest, and that's how we make money through the businesses. So with YouTube, though, with like somebody like you that has 500,000 subscribers or somebody that's got millions of subscribers, how does somebody that's trying to get into that, how do they go about going that way if they want that to be their future?
Yeah, so at this point, it's so saturated.
Seems like it is.
Last year, they announced that every kid's dream job wasn't to be a doctor, a veterinarian, none of that. Like an astronaut. They want to be a YouTuber.
So crazy.
And for, say, like from my industry, the sneaker community, when I started, there was probably 30 videos. When you do like the search, if you type in sneakers for the month, maybe 30 videos. Now there's 108,000.
How many?
Every month. 108,000.
God damn.
So that just goes to show the scale of it. Everyone that would watch is now a YouTuber. I noticed a lot of my comments, which is fine. That's great for them. Like, they're like, hey man, I love your channel. I've been watching for years. Come check out my channel. That's what most of my comments are now. So everyone's becoming a YouTuber. But as far as answering your question, how do you get into a position like this? First off, you just got to start. I think that's the hardest thing. Everybody thinks there's like this perfect timing. Oh, I need this $5,000 camera and all these crazy ideas. You just got to put your personality out there. It's hard to do because when you start out, you're just kind of awkward. You're trying to figure out who you are. You're watching others and you're kind of taking pieces from them. In a sense, not really being yourself, just kind of being like a Casey Neistat who's like a blogger. So put out what you want to put out and just be consistent with it. And, you'll just kind of grow throughout time. And the first round might not work. I've had 6 different channels and they didn't work. They did all right. They got like 5,000 views. Sneakers got 1 million views, 100,000 views. And I started vlogging, just doing my daily life. People fall in love with your personality. They feel that connection.
So it's interesting. I'm glad that you said that because people ask us. We specialize more in our Instagram and our Facebook marketing, but people ask me all the time. How do I become like sponsored by Blackstone Labs? What do I have to do on Instagram? What do I have to do? And I tell people all the time. The key is showing your personality because everybody looks good in fitness for the most part. There's so many people that look good. There's so many guys that are jacked. There's so many pros now. So how am I going to pick which one? I'm going to pick the one or the ones, we have many, who are separating themselves with their personalities that are motivating people, influencing people, helping people, answering back. I saw somebody today. I'm going to actually shout out an IFBB pro, Frida Paulson, today, who I've been following mostly because she's got a really nice ass. And today I actually was like, I took some interest in her, like whether I thought of reaching out to her, sponsoring her or not. I wanted to see what she was all about. And I was looking through a lot of her posts. And so she has many hundreds of comments on all her things, right? And a lot of it is guys just being like, oh, you're hot, you're beautiful, this and that. But I noticed that she actually went through and responded to every single one, even the guys that were kind of just hitting on her. Like she would say thank you or, put like the little emoji things up. And I was like, wow, she's actually responding to every single person. That's super, super valuable and important. And there's a lot of people that don't do that. So when people take the time to put their personality out there, I think that's what makes other people gravitate Like I'm sure the people that are following you so closely, it's probably a lot more than the information that you're putting out on sneakers. They just like you a lot as a guy.
For sure. And that comes down to they trust. Even for me, like if there's someone that I really like and they're using a certain product or whatever that is, I'm like, damn, let me check this out, you know?
So let me ask you before we get into the other questions, who do you like to watch on YouTube?
I like to watch Christian Guzman, Brandon Carter. Do you guys know who that is?
Both of them sound familiar.
I think the Christian Guzman is a motivational speaker, right?
Yeah, he's like a fitness motivational guy. Brandon Carter, he's like calls himself King Keto. He's just a funny guy. Like I just like these guys' personalities. And then I honestly just watched a lot of. I'm more into like editing. Like I like to watch people that can teach me how to edit better.
Okay.
Like other than that, I don't really watch.
How much time do you spend editing?
Probably like 2 hours. It depends. It really just depends on how in depth I want to be with the video. If I want to make it fancy, but if like the edits are basic, it'll take me like 30 minutes.
So now that you're not traveling with SneakerCon and stuff like that, like obviously, like you said, this is a good time to, revisit your passion for fitness and doing content like that. How do you think that how do you think you'll progress forward in sneakers now that it has become so saturated and there is so much biting and so much, 100 other people put this video out this month on this sneaker review? Because like you just said, to be honest, like I could go to anybody to watch a sneaker review, but I would specifically come to you or Cousteau or, people that I happen to like their style. I happen to like their opinion on something because
For sure.
or like Mr. Foamer Simpson, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I love Mr. Foamer.
I like your guys' style,
sure.
So I value your opinion more than, maybe somebody else who's reviewing the exact same shoe that maybe I just don't like them or their style as much. So how do you think you're going to progress forward through this extremely muddied up, saturated sneaker industry?
For me personally, I'm trying to transition into what I genuinely love. Because at this point, maybe people don't like watching my fitness videos or me talking about Blackstone Labs or my training routine or skincare, whatever I do. Maybe people hate that right now, but eventually they will love it.
Are you talking about skincare?
Yeah.
You have good skin. What kind of skincare shit do you use?
I use it's called.
I just switched all this shit because Whitney, Black Bombshell.
Yeah.
She made me switch all my shit. She came over and gave me a facial, and then I tried to give her one after, but she denied it. And it's my little joke. And she made me get this place in the mall called Lush. Do you know that place?
Yeah, I use the beard wash from there.
That shit is, for starters, way too expensive.
Yeah.
But whatever. I will say though, since I've been using it, like my skin's definitely been better. I was using that. You know that like St. Ides apricot scrub.
Yeah.
You can get it at any fucking grocery store.
It's so bad for you.
She was like, "That's what you use?" She was like, "That's like taking sandpaper and scrubbing your face with it." And I was like, "I'm scrubbing all the bad shit off." And she was like, No.
You're scrubbing it in.
But now I will say though, my skin has definitely been better since I've been using that shit from Lush.
Yeah.
It's harder for you guys too because the humidity, right?
It's so humid.
Florida, my face is always oily.
Oh, dude, I'm Italian, so I have oily ass skin anyway, and also I'm on a lot of testosterone, so that fucking makes it even worse.
The more gear you take, the greasier and oilier you are.
I'm just a greasy wop.
Yep.
Yeah, and Italian guys are gonna get mad.
It's dry here.
Yeah, it doesn't usually get like hot in the summer there, right?
No, I mean, it does get hot. It's just like desert hot.
Yeah, it's just not humid. It's dry.
Yeah.
But the dryness will screw your skin up too.
Yeah, but if you keep it like moisturized, and that's one of the things, like it's these tips that I see the potential of them, whether it's just wellness, fitness, skincare, just taking care of yourself. A lot of guys don't want to admit that that's what you got to do.
Yeah,
you want to look
to.
good for a long time. You gotta take care of yourself.
Dude, I freaking have a whole regime. Like from when I get out of the shower, I lotion my whole body. I got to do all the shit to my face. When I shave, the specific aftershave that I use.
It's important.
Yeah.
Yep. Everything counts.
But I'll tell you, people say to me a lot, especially lately now, because I quit drinking about 18 months ago, and that shit will wreck you. And the past year, because I'm 38. People say to me all the time, they're like, "Mo, you look so much younger than you are," and I know that a lot of it is the shit that I do to my skin. 100%.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's a lot of people don't even think about that until they're like 60 years old and their skin's cracking and all these wrinkles. But if they would just took care of themselves, they'd still be looking good.
I'm trying to look good and way past 38. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to look like when I'm 60, but I got to try to keep this going for a little while.
Hey, everything counts.
Yeah, but I think that, like, you know, as far as, you know, just talking about, you know, like you said, putting out a variety of content and, you know, chasing your true passion, like, it's kind of like, you know, if you're somebody that you really like their personality, like, if Will Smith had a YouTube channel and he put all his skincare shit out, yeah, I'm pretty sure people would like to watch that.
He'd be making bank on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
it's the same thing with The Rock. Like, everyone loves him for some reason.
Period. Anything he does wins.
If you don't like The Rock, man, just like, what's wrong?
You know what? Speaking of The Rock, there's a movie that's out. It's a wrestling movie. It's called like Wrestling with My Family. It's the story of Paige, the wrestler. The Rock's in it. He actually, I think, helped produce it. It's actually a really, really good movie. It's like a feel-good movie. I highly recommend. It's out on iTunes now. I highly recommend everybody watch that.
Watching Aladdin made me feel good.
Really?
I loved Aladdin.
The new Aladdin, the Will Smith Aladdin?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I have not even seen the trailer for that movie.
Oh, man.
Everyone's been telling me about it.
Go to iPick tonight.
Everyone's been telling me about it.
I saw it at iPick.
What did I just see? The fuck did I just see? We just went to the movies. What did I just see? It was really good. My brain is like shot right now. We've talked about so many different subjects that I can't.
Next up, Mike.
We usually just talk about steroids on this show the whole time. It's easy for me. It's like the same 7 questions over and over again.
Next up, Mike is going to tell us that he actually has a movie review channel that's done pretty good, but he just kind of let it go.
You never know. Hey, I'm about it.
Oh, man. So we'll might take me a minute to actually get
what the hell movie did I just go see? And it was very good. Oh no, Trattoria Romano is calling me. Should I answer this? Make sure they're not canceling my reservation. Hold on a minute.
I was gonna say your phone's been blowing up.
Hello.
Hello, Johanna calling from Trattoria Romano.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Great.
It's perfect. Just for tomorrow, confirming for 10 at 7 p.m.
Yes, I have. I was actually going to call you because I have a little bit of an issue. I miscounted, and it actually looks like it's going to be 13.
13? Okay, let me make that. No. Okay, that's okay. I bump it up to 1 more, or 3 more, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I was a little worried about that. Forgot about the sister and her husband and whatnot. And it's Father's Day, so we're getting my dad and Marissa's dad out to dinner.
Oh, nice.
And everybody wanted to jump in. And it's hard as fuck to get reservations for Trattoria Romano. Have you ever eaten there before?
No.
It's like a really, really good Italian place. And I've tried to make reservations for like my mom and stuff a bunch of times, and they're like, nope. I'm like, you have no reservations at all. They're like, no, none, 0. I'm like, all right, what about tomorrow? They're like, nope, tomorrow's all booked up. And they straight up told me, they were like, if you want reservations, you should try like a month in advance. And I was like, really? Wow. Like, how do you
I'm hungry now.
How do you line something up for dinner a month in advance? That's crazy. So I tried so it was Monday.
Serious.
Monday, I was like, you know what? This is a crapshoot. Let's try to get Father's Day reservations. And we called and we were able to get them. And the funny thing is, I bet you that if it was Mother's Day, wouldn't be able to do it.
Nope.
Nobody cares about the dads.
Nope.
No one cares about the dads.
Well, you know what? For Father's Day, I'm just going to get my mom something nice because my dad was a deadbeat. So she's the best dad I ever had.
Hey, I hear you.
No, my stepdad is the man. I call him dad, so he deserves a good day. He doesn't even give a shit. He doesn't want to go anywhere. We're actually doing him a disservice
by making
him go to dinner. For Father's Day, he just wants to be left alone.
He's like, I just want to smoke weed. Why are you making me do
Yeah,
this?
my mom straight up said, she was like, definitely not doing anything on Sunday, on the actual Father's Day, but you may be able to get him on Saturday.
So like, I guess I should have probably warned you before you came on here, being that I guess I didn't think about you probably never have watching the podcast before, but usually people do send us like crazy sex questions and stuff like that. Not that I think that you're going to get any of those, but like, you know, I'm sure the whole like, you know, facial trading thing kind of caught you off guard, but so just to let you know, it gets a little vulgar here.
Does he have vulgar questions?
No, I haven't.
I was thinking that they weren't going to ask any vulgar stuff to the sneaker guy.
Probably not. I just didn't know if like
maybe, the girls they send the vulgar questions to.
I just didn't know if maybe there would be like a vulgar one for me or you, and him be like, "What the fuck kind of podcast am I on right now? Like, these dudes are fucking weird. I'm never responding to this guy."
You know, as far as like the sneaker, I mean, you can like cuss and stuff, and you just somewhat can't be yourself because you're trying to
appeal to a younger audience,
younger kids.
Yeah, of course.
Like, a lot of moms come up to me like, "Hey, we watch you in my living room." So I'm like, "All right, cool."
What's funny is, so like at the Olympia and the Arnold, we'll have people that'll come and like I know that I am at the very most modest. I am rated R, and that's being modest. I'm probably NC-17. Would you say I'm X? I don't know. I think I'm probably like NC-17.
I would say we're X, bro.
You think so? Okay, so we're X. So I'll get like husbands and wives and families at the Olympia. This husband and wife came with they had 3 little kids, and they went, PJ, and they all ran and they were like hugging my legs, and the parents were like, we listen to you every day, and I went, oh. And then they go, oh, no, we have our headphones on. They just see you moving around and stuff, so they think you're cool. I'm like, oh, thank God. I was like so like upset. I'm like, these poor kids, they're listening to me? That's terrible. I talk about the worst shit. And they're like, no, we keep the headphones in. But they think that you look cool. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. I was like really scared that you're letting your kids listen to us talk about all the crazy shit, trannies and all the porno stuff.
You just never know.
Yeah. I had a guy that came up to me at the Olympia last year. This is really funny, and then we'll get into the questions. And he was like, dude. So he came up to me with his wife. Her name was Michelle, by the way. If she's listening out there, someday I may take you guys up on your offer. And basically they were like, they had like a fantasy. Like the wife had a fantasy of me banging her and shit. And the guy was like, me and you are so much alike. And he goes, I'm into trannies. I'm into this. I'm into that. And I was like, well, I'm joking when I say all that stuff, dude. That's just to get the shock value out of people. But hey, that's cool. You just told me some pretty whacked out stuff about you, but that's all right, man.
You're like, I don't like trannies, but I think dudes that admit they like trannies are pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Good times.
Yeah, like even if you just go back to the very last podcast we had a very beautiful guest come in. She was actually here with us. Whenever somebody's in Florida, we try to do it, so we don't have to do the whole Skype thing. But so yeah, she came in, and of course, when he put up the photo that she was going to be in, the preview questions come in, and somebody's like, yeah, like, do you like to get banged after you go to the gym? We're just like, yeah, all right. Well, we're gonna read this to you now.
Yeah.
So
she actually, she offended a few people. By the way, I don't know if you got anything from that. I did.
Really?
On the Mexicans not being Spanish comments.
Oh man.
Some Mexican people, of course. Shout out to the Mexican listeners. Wrote me and said they were very offended and that they've been like dealing with this their whole lives, and people like put them down all the time, and they're Hispanic. They prefer to be called a Hispanic, but like people will often tell them they're not considered Latino and this and that, and that there shouldn't be segregation that way. And I was like, listen, you're not going to please everybody. I'm sorry. People are just going to keep it real on our radio show, and if that's what they say, that's what they say. I mean, I've said plenty of things that have offended people before also.
We try our best not to.
Yeah, I had somebody actually tell me that after that part, they just turned the radio show off, and that they generally love listening to us.
Damn.
I was assuming they were more mad at her because she was the one that was like,
yeah, I would assume.
I guess we'll see. They'll probably listen to this, and if they do,
Hopefully.
we'll listen to this, and we'll go from there.
I will say the parking police that I did not know existed until today over on at the other building.
Oh,
did you know about this?
I mean, I see guys rolling around on golf carts.
Yeah, so I guess there's an older gentleman on a golf cart. I don't know if he's the landlord or not.
If he's the old guy, that is the landlord. There's another guy that rides around. There's like a Haitian-looking guy that rides around on a golf cart too.
No, so I guess he was out there too. But so I pulled up this morning, and when I pulled up, your dad's car was parked in front of the doors.
Yes.
So
I saw you posted that picture.
Yeah. So he pulls in, and he's like, I'm in the car, sitting, getting ready to go inside. And he pulls in the golf cart, and he's like looking at my car and looking at your dad's car and looking at my car and looking at his car, and he just decides to park it, and like he's gonna see what's going on here. And I'm like, all right, well, this is a little weird. So like a couple minutes later, Jason comes walking outside to go to his car, and I guess they were talking a little bit. I couldn't hear what they were saying. So as soon as Jason gets in his car, he calls me and he goes, "Yo, wait until that dude leaves before you get out of your car." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "He's like the parking police. He says we can't park over here. We have too many cars and this and that. He's gonna make you go park somewhere else and walk over here." And I was like, okay. So a minute after I got off the phone with him, Eric pulls up. So Eric gets out of his car, and I'm like, all right, I want to see what he does to Eric, see if he makes Eric leave. So right when Eric's going to walk over, I think he's like getting ready to say something to Eric when your dad walks out. So now it's all three of them outside, and they're talking. I was like, so this is going to be a good time for me to slide right in here. I'm not going to have to move. So I go inside, me and Eric go inside, and I was like, that was weird. So I go up to the loft to start telling the call center guys. I was like, I didn't know there was a parking limitation here or whatever. And as soon as I get up there and start telling them, we start hearing yelling. And I'm like, yo, somebody yelling at JR? So like we all, like 5 of us run down the stairs and we're like listening on the other side of the door. And then all of a sudden we hear the Haitian dude yelling. So Billy walks out there to see like what's going on. So I didn't want like 10 jack dudes to come outside at the same time and seem like intimidating. Mm-hmm. So I was listening from the inside. And then when Billy came back in, he said that the Haitian dude was actually yelling because of a truck that's not ours that is always, I guess, parked over there or something like that. But so when I had gotten out of the car and was going inside, the white dude on the golf cart was like trying to describe Jason. And he was like, the Spanish guy with the ponytail. And I was like, you just made that ponytail up. He doesn't have a ponytail. You just envisioned that in your own mind. Like, what do you mean? He has like a mohawk.
That's hilarious. There's actually no one here with a ponytail.
Nope, not a single person.
But why? Did he do something wrong?
No. He was just saying like that other guy said that he was coming right back. He was just going to Publix and like I don't know where we should actually have to park because
what are they going to do? Give us tickets?
I don't know.
They're not like police officers.
I have no idea.
The current building that we're in, we're actually only allowed 5 spots now.
But everybody loves us, so we park everywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's like. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I'm not sure.
Like where you have to park your car.
Yeah.
You can't go to your job if you can't park your car.
I definitely don't.
There's nowhere else. There truly is nowhere else to park though.
I don't have any levitating feature on mine.
I mean, what are you gonna have to park in some other businesses' parking spots? That's definitely worse, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I just want to let you guys know I'll park it here so I can go walk over to my job next door to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is all corporate buildings over here. What are you gonna do? Anyway,
we're just looking for some action for the day.
I guess so. Riding around on their golf carts.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I got a fucking boot on my car 2 weeks ago. Never had that happen before.
Where?
Oh, wow.
So in the garage over by Pure Life, do you know that some of those spots, there's like only like 5 of them that are actually it says reserved for retail, whatever the fuck stores there are, I guess, over there. The rest all say 2-hour parking. And I've been parking in there for a couple of years, never had an issue. And so I pulled in to one of the like literally only 4 spots that I guess you can't park in. And Stephanie, I shot a video with Stephanie that day, and Stephanie said she actually noticed that my spot was different than the rest. And she was like, oh, he must know. He comes here all the time. Finished the video. I mean, we were only there for about an hour that day. And I go out to my car, and there's a boot on my car.
Big old yellow circle.
Oh
and I've never had this happen before. They make it really a pain in the ass. So you got to go online. You cannot call a number. There is not any number at all.
No.
You got to go onto the website, fill out an annoyingly long thing, put your credit card information, put it all in, and then hit send. And it says you will be, because you got to put your phone number in, you will be called when dispatch is sending somebody to get the boot off your car. And I'm like, wow, that's like what how long of a process is this? Also, you've got to give the address of where you are, all this shit, right? So I do all that, and I get a call fairly fast, actually. It was probably like 15 minutes later.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, hey, is this is for the Corvette? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, actually, somebody is already headed that way. So it actually only wound up being like maybe like an hour.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah. But like the actual process of filling that out is a very stressful one. Like they ask you a lot of questions. And you got to put all your credit card information in, and it's like $90.
Sick.
And then they send the thing to come, get it off your car.
I guess it's better than getting towed, though.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like $300, $400.
Yeah, when we went to a Sunfest a couple years back, and my buddy's like, no, we'll park over here. I park here every time for Sunfest. And me and him park over there, and sure enough, we come back after a brutally long time in the sun at Sunfest drinking, and we walk up, and I'm like, yeah, dog, cars ain't there, bro. I don't know why I let you talk me into parking here, because now I'm going to have to call my mom, get us picked up, drive us to the tow truck. Like, Jesus, next time I'm paying for parking.
How much were the tows?
Oh, dude, it was like $300 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So
that's steep too.
This is a great question for both of you guys. It says for PJ and Mike, would you rather fight 1,000 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
You want to go first? I already know my answer.
You go first.
There's no way in hell that I am fighting a duck that is the size of a horse. Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
That thing is probably angry too.
Think about the beak on that thing will snap you in half.
Just the wings, like
fuck that.
The wind
they have
force
sharp
generated.
sharp little webbed feet on a horse-sized duck. I will wreck 1,000 little duck-sized horses though. they're like My Little Ponies. Think about it. That's about how big they are.
That's a lot of ponies though.
Yeah, but you just keep kicking.
What if they come
many
in
is it?
waves? It's 1,000 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck.
I might just have to go for the horse-sized duck. I haven't got time to be fighting all them. 1,000?
Yep.
I'll just take my chances with the big fella.
No,
He's like, I'm either gonna get killed by
a
this big
duck
one.
that big. I might die from pure fright of the size of that thing.
But imagine 1,000 like surrounding you.
Yeah,
At
that's
that
what I'm
point, You might
saying.
as well just fight one big fella, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the size. You've got such a size advantage. You know.
I mean, like, I don't want to fight just a regular horse-sized horse, let alone a horse-sized duck.
No,
like,
I
ducks
would.
are mean.
I would actually rather fight a horse-sized horse than a horse-sized duck.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
regular horse, you're probably going to lose. You know, but.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting into.
It's predictable.
Yeah, it is. It's predictable. But with
Don't get behind it.
A duck that is as big as a horse, you have no idea what you're getting into with that. You don't know.
You might as well be fighting a dinosaur.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Howard the Duck, by the way?
Like,
No.
There's a movie. It's an 80s movie. It's called Howard the Duck. It's an awful movie, by the way. But it's like about this guy from outer space that happens to be a duck that ends up here. And there's like a sex scene and shit. Eric, have you ever seen Howard the Duck? One of our listeners, one of our older listeners that's my age will know about Howard the Duck. It's a really, really lame 80s movie.
I feel like I might have seen the cover. Like, I feel like
What's that? Howard the Duck?
Yeah, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
What?
He was even in Endgame. You could see him for like half a second.
No, I didn't know that. That's hilarious. Yeah, there's a cheesy 80s movie that's literally called Howard the Duck.
Thank God we have Eric here to let us know.
Yeah, he's
Because
good.
otherwise we would have no idea. Jesus.
facts.
Good
All
question,
right.
by the way. Whoever sent that question, and I appreciate that question.
One horse-sized duck. I'll
Made
tell
us
you what.
think.
All right.
So do you guys drink a gallon of water every day?
I try to, but I'm so shitty with my water. When I was competing, I used to drink a gallon of water easy every day. Sometimes 2 gallons. Now
How do you even manage that?
you just got to carry it. You know, that's the only way to do it. So this is what I've had today. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
So it's about half, but I've already worked out, and that's when I drink. The biggest abundance of my water is when I'm working out. I just try to drink in between all my sets, and that's it. Like as the day goes on, though, I start getting more and more lazy. And then at night, when I'm sitting around at home, I don't drink that much at all. But I'm shitty about it. Like I know a lot of the issues that I have. Like for instance, I get cramps pretty often. You know, like I'll strain things all the time. I could alleviate all that by just drinking more freaking water.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
And to be honest with you, I only drink maybe at most a half a gallon of water during my workout. And for the rest of the day that I'm alive, I drink soda.
Yeah.
Yep.
I drink at least.
It's terrible. You can't do what I do.
I drink a regular Coca-Cola every night. 1 can of Coke every night. It's like one of my guilty pleasures. Just real Coke is just so good.
But like nobody else realistically can drink soda and do the things that I do and stay looking.
Yeah,
like
he has a weird metabolism.
It's an anomaly. So I don't think we actually did answer this question last week, but it's definitely a strange one. Came with some photos too on this one. Hey guys, I've been using steroids for 2 years now. I only pin ventrogluteal in my glutes.
Yep.
So what is ventrogluteal?
The upper outer.
Okay. I've tried my shoulder 4 times, which I ended up getting an infection lump every time. See pic below. I've tried my quads twice. The first time hitting a nerve bed and the second time hitting a big vessel that hurt so bad I had to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 questions I have are, number 1, when I'm about halfway in with the needle, I hit what I believe is a blood vessel and it hurts a lot. I have really dark colored blood run down my glute or leg afterwards. It's gotten to the point where I hit these spots so often I'm virtually afraid to pin. I go in ridiculously slow with the needle. I've looked at injection sites and graphs and I know I'm hitting the right spaces. Am I just unlucky, or have you guys dealt with this before? I use 25 gauge 1-inch needles.
I mean, how often is he doing a ridiculous amount of shots?
I don't know about that, but it does say,
Did he say anything about hitting his lats?
No.
Hit your lats. I'm telling you, people get scared about the lats. Lats go in like butter.
Yeah.
It just slides right in. You're not going to bleed. It's a big muscle. So, after your glute and your quad, your lat is the most area for you to inject into. And I love doing my lats. And if you have somebody to do your shots for you, like if your girlfriend or wife can do it for you, it makes it seriously easy. Just tell them, hey, go into the medius part of my lat right here, and it goes in smooth. It rarely hurts. I cannot do quads. Do quads.
Nope.
Anywhere where I go and my quad is going to hurt. He can also try doing in his hip, which might sound awkward, and I don't mean like in the front of your hip. I mean back a little bit more.
Like in the medium.
Yeah, closer to the glute. And you go in sideways when you do it. That one actually, if you do it right, is okay. If he wants to, he can try doing a smaller needle too, not the actual gauge,
The length.
but the length. Try a 5/8. And you can even try a 1/2 inch. I know a lot of guys that take the time to just use their insulin needles, which it takes a while to do it, but you're not going to have the issues with. I don't know that he could be consistently hitting blood vessels. It sounds like he's probably got a patch of scar tissue from stabbing himself in the same spot over and over again, and he's hitting that scar tissue, and it's causing inflammation and bleeding from that. So, but if that's happening consistently, just don't go in that spot anymore.
Yeah. To be honest, it changed my life when PJ showed me how to pin my lats. Like, changed my life. I was so tired of pinning my glutes.
Yeah, Mike, if you ever graduate into the world of steroids, we'll teach you how to give yourself shots too. So
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask, like, how do you feel about needles? Like, do you think you could ever do something like that, or is that just like totally off the table?
I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm not afraid of needles whatsoever.
Okay.
Not at all.
That's basically what it comes down to. Is most people, they're like, get to a point in their fitness where they're like, I'll do anything to get bigger except for stick myself with a needle.
Yeah, and really that's the better way to go, because a lot of the orals, well, for starters, many of the orals are often fake, and they're typically a little bit harder, and they're easier, they're harder to manage. With shots, especially nowadays, the older you get, the easier it is to get scripts from a doctor for good old-fashioned testosterone, which is the best thing that you can do anyway. Mm-hmm. And it's pure. And when you get it from a doctor, you're not going to have soreness or bumps or anything, and it just makes it really easy.
Right. How old are you, Mike?
As far as like oral stuff, is that worse on your liver then?
Yes.
Some of it is, yeah, for sure.
So in general, just taking supplements, let's say you're just taking a multivitamin, vitamin C. Let's say you're just taking all those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that bad for your liver from what you guys know?
It's not that it's bad. You're going to make your liver work a little bit harder, but your liver is designed to do all that stuff anyway. Yeah. So anything that you're orally ingesting, say it's an Advil, a Tylenol, vitamin C, there's going to be different levels to what your liver has to do to break it down. So like an Advil is a little bit rough on the liver, but I mean, drinking alcohol is really, really hard on your liver. Drinking alcohol is way harder on your liver than any other pill that you can take by far,
really?
By a long shot.
By so much.
By a long shot.
Like a lot more than you would think.
So if you take your pills with alcohol, it's just cooking yourself.
Yeah, that's you're going out. You're going hard on. You're making your liver work if you're doing that. So, even when you're eating more protein, for instance, that's making your liver work hard. So the liver is designed though for a heavy workload. So you got to be really, really going nuts with orals to screw yourself up. But some of the oral steroids are a lot more aggressive on the liver. And when you go with your typical injections, you're going right into your bloodstream. You don't even have to worry about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also, as we're going through this, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to chime in.
No, for sure.
Second one says, I want to utilize more spots to shoot my gear, delts, lats, pecs, etc., but I'm afraid of either hitting nerves or blood vessels due to inexperience of shooting those spots, and I'm also nervous about getting another infection because my last delt infection was very bad. I thought about switching over to sling pins to shoot my gear, but I'm nervous it wouldn't get deep enough in the muscles and I'd get lumps. Any tips or advice would be much appreciated.
I just think that the infections, he's not using good gear. He's using dirty gear. None of this should be happening.
Yeah.
When you're using good quality gear, like clean stuff from a doctor, none of this happens.
Well, and one thing...
And rotate your sides, please, but don't hit your chest.
I'm kind of confused because he says, I've tried my shoulder 4 times, which I've ended up getting an infection and lump every time, see pic below. But then both the pictures he sent me, it looks like he has a lump, but I don't know if it's like, are you showing me like, you know what I'm saying?
It looks like there's a lump in his arm.
In his bicep.
Yeah.
Like...
Weird.
Is it like, did it seep down?
I don't know. I would, wherever you're getting your gear, I would stay away from it because that's not looking.
Probably go to a doctor.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next one. It says, what's up, guys? So my wife was lying naked face down on the bed yesterday after we got out of the shower. I immediately snuck over and spread her ass cheeks. She giggled and said, what is your obsession with my ass? After I thought about it, I have no idea. So my fellow butt divers, what do you think intrigues us too much? Just the taboo of it? Sincerely, Uncle Big Dick.
Uncle Big Dick. He means like her butthole or just her ass?
Yeah, her butthole.
Oh, her butthole? I guess it's just considered like more dirty, you know? It's like taboo. But when your girl is clean and fresh, it should be nice and sweet back there, you know?
True.
And
Maybe that's what it was.
I think that's probably what it is.
Fresh out the shower.
Fresh out the shower.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice and clean.
Yep.
All right. Next one says, good afternoon, PJ. My name is, man, we're getting a lot of like people just knowing that we're going to read these.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, let me shoot my shot to PJ. All right. So this one comes from Chris, the MF Ox. Hello, PJ and Josh. It's Chris again. Are you guys doing well? I keep hearing you guys talk about asking questions that's a little off the wall and not steroid based, workout based and all that. And normally those are my questions. So I've got one for you. I've had friends a couple older than me suggest to me that a woman stick a finger in my rear and play with my prostate. I've never been a fan of that, but never let a woman try it. What about you two? I never let a woman stick a finger up the back door and play around. But there's a weird question for you guys. Have a good day.
So he's asking us if we've had fingers in our butts, basically.
Yep.
Yes, I have. No, I don't really like it. It's not my thing.
Yeah, no, not my thing either.
I've had like maybe, I don't know, over the years, maybe like, I don't know, we'll say 5 girls have done it.
Okay.
And one of them was violent about it. And I was like, if you do that again, I'm going to lay you out.
I think you told me that.
I'm going to seriously lay you out. And she was like, you like it? And I was like, no, I fucking don't. It's just not my thing. But I have guy friends that really like it.
Yeah, I mean,
you can stimulate your prostate to actually achieve an orgasm through your butt. It's just not.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not my thing. It's called milking the prostate, and doctors can actually do that when they want you to, in certain situations when they test the prostate, or if they're, for instance, even needing to get like a sperm sample. You can milk the prostate and actually come pretty fast that way. That is
the more you know.
Yeah, that is actually one of the things that a lot of people say, like, well, what's in it for like a gay guy, the guy that's getting it, you know what I mean? Other than pain. And done the right way, they can actually stimulate the prostate enough where it feels really good for them so that when they do have their orgasm, that's why it's more intense, which is why the whole finger in the butt thing, that's where that comes from. Like there's like a motion that you can do to go up there and stimulate the prostate. But I think for most guys, the mental part of knowing that you're doing that makes you tense up too much to be able to get that, you know, at all. But they call it milking the prostate.
True. Well, I got to say, I'm kind of shocked that we got 2 anal questions back to back for you. But, you know, these weren't directed for you. These were from our previous, between our last show to this one. So these ones weren't for you, but I'm also kind of shocked that they just came back to back like that. But, you know, it's how it goes. Like I said, I'm glad I warned you before we read this.
That's funny.
All right, next one says, hey guys, first off, just wanted to say I love what you guys do. I watch the Q&As every chance I get. So a few parts to my question. I've just ordered Methaquad and Super Stroll. I haven't taken them yet, but I wanted to ask a follow-up on the last question of last week's podcast with Miss Foreign Fit. So once I take the Methaquad and Super Stroll, if I just run Apex Male and PCT5 for 4 weeks, should my test go back to pretty much what it is now and stay? Or once I take pro hormones, will I constantly have to have a test booster?
It's 50-50. I would say hopefully it does, but there's a good chance you'll need a test booster after that. Unfortunately, that's just the name of the game when you step it up that high.
All right. Second part of his question says, if I go the route of as soon as I'm off Methaquad and Super Stroll, going to the doctor and trying to get on HRT, will I always have to be on it, or will my natural test balance back out when or if I decide to come off of it? And if I do go to a doctor for HRT, how soon should I go once my cycle is done? Do I even start taking PCT or Apex Male if I'm going to do that?
If you're going to go to the doctor and your objective is to get on HRT, don't do any PCT or anything, because you're going to go in there super low and they're going to give you what you want.
You want your test to be tanked, so don't even...
If you go in there with it high, they're going to be like, "What do you don't need any of this.
You don't need it." And so the other question to that was, will his natural test balance back out when or if he decides to come off of the HRT?
Most likely, no.
You'll have to do Clomid, Novadex, some type of actual PCT for that if you want.
The best advice that was given to me years ago, and I always will speak this to anybody else, make sure you're ready when you get on steroids, when you get on testosterone, make sure you're ready to commit to it, because once you get on, you're never going to want to be off it ever again for a number of reasons. Some of it is, of course, psychological, but once you're on and you're feeling that good, when you go off, you're always going to remember how good you felt being on, and because of that, being off is going to feel that much worse. So you may actually feel how you did in the first place, but it's going to feel so much worse because of how good you felt on. You when you're on, you have way more energy, your sex drive is better, your mood is better, you're way stronger, you're making gains in the gym, and that goes away, and now all of a sudden you're 30 again. Or maybe you're 35 again and things hurt really bad and you're not making gains in the gym and you're all of a sudden, getting a little bit fatter and you're not having sex as much and maybe your dick doesn't work as good. Psychologically, you're not going to want to deal with that. So once you get on, be prepared to do that for the rest of your life, period.
Which is the main reason why I've always kept you so far on the natural stuff until we've decided to make that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I was going to ask that question, so that's kind of...
Well, we're actually almost done with these here. So I did actually, now that I'm thinking about it, have a couple more questions that I wanted to ask you once we're finished with these.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that was actually the last one. Lots of proposals.
I heard David sent a question.
Yeah. We got that one.
Was that the duck question? Of course it was.
But there was some other ones. So let's see. These were actually directed towards him off of your comments.
I had a lot of friends that took pro hormones, and a lot of them got pretty huge. One of them gained like 50 pounds.
Jeez.
Yeah, the pro hormones that are out now, like the stuff that we have, they're very strong, guys. They're very, very strong. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's pro hormones, just do steroids." But a lot of the steroids that you're going to get on the black market are fake.
Mm-hmm.
Reputable companies like us, high tech, that are putting out good quality stuff, you're going to get really good gains.
It's funny because this girl that goes to the same gym as us, that's actually in the Legion, we ran into her one time not that long ago. So her and Tara have been working out a little bit here and there whenever I can't make it with her. So she had asked me if I would take a look at some Anavar that her friend had to see if I thought it looked real. And as soon as she showed it to me, I was like, no, don't take this. Yeah. This is not good. Don't tell your friend not to take this. Tell anybody, any woman not to take this, because there's a very high chance that it's not Anavar. So it was literally just looked like Smarties. They were like breaking apart in the bag. It didn't even come in a bottle. It came in like a fucking vac seal bag.
God only knows what that was.
I was like, think about it like this: if this company is not, if this company is trying to cut corners on their packaging for their product, they're not putting out a good product.
Exactly.
Like they're trying to save 10 cents on this bottle versus this plastic bag, and they're going to give you the cheaper option because they're selling such high quality stuff, right?
Nobody. I'm gonna say this. I've said this over and over again. Nobody should buy Anavar from anyone other than a doctor, because it is almost always going to be fake.
Yep.
Period.
No matter who
guys.
you know.
No matter who you know. Your bodybuilder friend that got jacked on it, he probably got jacked taking D-ball thinking it was Anavar.
Or he did take Anavar and he only has enough for himself and he's selling you the D-ball.
Yeah, it's going to be fake. I promise you the cost of it is why. And I don't know if I said this on the last podcast, but so a buddy of mine that was manufacturing this is a crazy number, that was manufacturing steroids in the 90s, said that 5 kilograms of testosterone cypionate powder cost $2,000. And so if you wanted to make testosterone cypionate, you could buy 5 kilograms of it for $2,000, which I think makes like, I don't know, 20,000 bottles or something like that. So it's pretty inexpensive. 1 kilogram of oxandrolone powder, which is what Anavar is, 1 kilogram is $18,000.
Jesus.
So that's how much dramatically more expensive it is. So if it is that expensive, right, it's freaking 5 times more expensive.
Then good old testosterone.
Actually, it's more than that
More
because
than
it's actually 25 times, I guess, if you think about it.
Yeah, because it's 5 times the quantity plus the.
And it's only 1 kilogram
astronomical
number. Yeah.
price.
So if it's that expensive to make it, how do you possibly think that some guy is selling it to you for a couple dollars a pill? It's not happening.
It's impossible.
It's not happening.
So in the one of the questions on PJ's Instagram for you was, do you do meal prep for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
No.
Nope. Do you meal
No,
prep
not at all. No. I mean, I'll cook one, like, this is my new schedule is I'll cook one day, next day eat what I cooked the day before, just have leftovers. But I don't do any of that meal prep. I like cooking personally. Like, it's fun for me.
You know,
I love cooking too. I grill every day.
We should get him on a
it's
fresh
so
meal
much fun.
plan. Get him a code.
I can do that.
Yeah, and then they can, they'll send you out some meals, and as long as you promote and get code usage, you get free food every week.
Yeah, their food's good.
Really?
Yep. And
Yeah,
it's
their
actually
food's really
food.
good. Because I've tried a bunch of them and a lot of them suck, and theirs is actually really good.
And the next question for you is, what is your biggest motivation besides health to consistently work out?
Honestly, mental clarity. Like, if I don't work out, I easily become just down.
Foggy.
Like, yeah, I just literally will go into a depressed state without working out.
That's normal though.
Yep.
I feel guilt.
Yeah, once you're into it and you love it, when you don't go, it just makes you. It makes you feel guilty.
Yeah.
It makes you feel
like
depressed.
I'll be irritated,
Yep.
mad at the world, mad at everything. Any little comment, I'm pissed off. But when I work out, I'm good, chilling.
That's good.
Yep. It's a
It
good
does.
outlet.
It does make you feel good though. That's
Yeah.
my favorite part of my day.
It's a challenge. Like, even I think legs is the most challenging because every time I'm doing it, I'm like, why am I doing this? It's just,
This is so dumb. Up and down, up and down. Jesus Christ. Why am I doing this?
sucks.
So I noticed, obviously from following you, that do you have a gym membership or do you just have that badass at home workout thing you have?
Yeah, I have both.
Okay, sweet.
I just don't really go to the gym.
I feel you. If I had that setup that you have at your house, I probably wouldn't go to the gym either.
I had this this goal, and I, obviously didn't work out that way. But when I had first bought my house, across the street was this lot that was for sale, and at the time, I was making a lot of money, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy that lot, and I'm gonna turn that into like a sick home gym. Like the sickest home gym ever. It'll be like, I'll make it like 1,500, 2,000 square feet. Get all the good equipment that I need in there, get a good sound system in there, get really good mirrors, and the only member that will be allowed there will be me. And I'll just fucking wake up in the morning, go right across the street, fucking train in there, and have it be amazing. And I really was going to do it. And people were like, don't do that with your money. That's stupid. That's stupid. You're going to spend all this money, and you're not going to want to do it because you're going to miss out on going to the gym. And when I go to the gym and there's so many goddamn people there, I'm always like, I wish I didn't have to deal with all these people. So I actually do wish that I invested into that, because there's no way I would ever get tired of that.
No.
Yeah, no, it's the fact that I can wake up or just any time, even if it's late at night and I didn't work out in the morning, I can just do it. Because going to my gym, I can't stand that. Like, it seems like the day that you want to work chest, everybody's
doing it. Yeah.
Chest. Like,
Yep. I've even tried to change my days around to avoid all that, and it still doesn't even work out.
They just copy.
Because LA Fitness is just, there's too many people at LA Fitness.
Oh, LA Fitness is the worst.
There's so many people, so it's like, Today I went at a weird time, so I was good. But when you go in a busy time, you're just screwed. There's always that one old guy that doesn't actually leave the machine. Because most people, you could be like, hey, do you mind if I work in? And it's a little awkward, and then you work in. But there's always like that old guy that's on the pec deck that like kind of just rests with his arms on the handles because he's not getting off of it. But he's resting for like 5 minutes in between sets. Or there's like the old guy that's like reading and texting on his phone with his legs crossed.
Yep, he's holding both handles with one hand and texting with the other.
And you're like, come on, dude. And like you're doing other exercises and you're kind of going off your game plan. Yeah. Like that shit drives me crazy. That's why, because I do a lot of cardio. I do an hour of cardio every day, but I have a treadmill in my house. So I just wake up, do my thing, and I go on the treadmill. I don't have to worry about shit. And that's very valuable to me. You know, like I'll never get rid of that. That's a huge thing, not having to. If you're somebody that does cardio every day and you got to get up, drive to the fucking gym, excuse my language, just to do cardio, that's a pain in the ass.
Or if you want to do fasted cardio.
What if you get to the gym and you want to use the treadmill and all the treadmills are taken? You drove all the way there, and now you got to do some whack shit that you didn't even want to do because everybody else is on it.
Yep. Exactly. So that's the whole reason I even made that gym, because I'm like, all right, I've been losing weight for a year, so I think I'm serious enough to just buy this gym and actually use it. Because a lot of people will buy all this equipment and be like, oh, I finally got my home gym. They don't ever use it. Yeah. It just collects dust.
Mm-hmm.
So the video that you made that got the most views, that kind of set the sneaker thing off, what video was it?
It was how to be a sneakerhead. So simple.
Really?
How many views does it have?
I think it's either at 1.8 million or maybe 2 million.
Did it go up right away, or did it just go up progressively?
Yeah, within a day.
At that point, what was the most views you had on a video?
Probably 400,000.
So you like quadrupled that.
Oh yeah, it was insane. I'm like, dang, like the pay off of that was crazy too. I'm like, this is how much money people are really making.
Damn.
It was a life changer. It really was.
On doing videos like that all the time, that'd be like, it's like a roll of the dice in a way though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when you came up with that idea, did you put a lot of like thought into it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
So at the time, there was like a strategy to viral videos that I figured out. It was looking at past trending videos and remixing them. It's like a remix strategy. So I did that multiple times, and every video just went viral, and my channel kept growing. Then I started like the vlog channel, and again, random remix videos. And they just kept popping off, but now it doesn't seem to work anymore.
What's working now?
Nothing. There's nothing that's like, I can't even remember the last time I hit 1 million views. It's been like 2-3 years.
Damn,
that's crazy.
So it's like being an artist, like waiting to write your next big song.
I get you.
True.
Some of the fitness videos that have really big views, though, I know are just luck.
Yeah.
Because they're terrible. I've seen some of the like how to get fucking awesome abs, you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, let me watch this. Let's see how this guy's telling people to do it. And it'll be the most basic ass shit. And I'm like, how did this get that, you know?
I think it's more of like thumbnails and
clickbait.
It's just that visual. Yeah, definitely clickbait. Because are you going to listen to some dude that's like super skinny and really has no muscle? Or are you going to listen to like a dude bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the same thing with my own physique. Like I really am working extremely hard to get to that point where you practice what you preach, because nobody's going to listen to someone who's like skinny fat.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like if I had reached out to you and I was, 300 pounds and I was like, yo, bro, I can help you in the gym. You'd have been like, yeah,
I can help you get ripped.
100% would have been like, I'm good.
Yeah. I don't really think I want to look like you, bro.
Yeah.
The only YouTube page that I consistently watch is Kenny KO. I love watching his page. I think he's great.
He does have some funny
I just think it's awesome that he does what he does, because first of all, I don't think he's a dick about it at all. He just exposes people for lying.
Yeah.
And I actually most of the time already know the people that are lying, and I am just not the kind of person that would be like, you know what, I'm going to go expose this person for lying. Yeah. But I already know. I'm like, as soon as I see who it is. So he just did one on Samit. Did you see that?
Yes.
And I DM'd him right away on that. And I actually DM'd him videos. And I was like, now I'm going to give you lots of information on this girl that you probably don't even know. And he was like, oh boy. And I let him know all the things that she did to screw us over, everything else. And he was like, wow, that she's even worse than I thought.
He's like, I wish I would have known this before I made the video.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you want to expose some people, I might have some info on them from now on. But I just enjoy, because when I met him, I was like, how come you don't do any videos on me? And he was like, you tell the truth all the time. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Guess you got me there. Well,
Yeah, that's the nice thing about telling the truth. You don't have nothing to expose. Like,
so, and that on that topic, that's another thing that is great about selling the products that we sell is that, since I started working here in 2016, my biggest thing when I started working here was like, I don't know anything about supplements. I go to the gym. I like to work out. I was already taking steroids, but like I realistically don't know anything for sure about supplements that I know is true that I could tell somebody else, like, I know this for a fact, not just I read it online or heard it from the dude at GNC. And so I was like, how am I possibly going to sell anything that I don't know anything about, and whether it's good or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no idea if our pre-workout is good or bad. I just know that I'm selling it. And so throughout the years, you start to see like people who are using, something like C4 or like very like underpowered, like basically just like sugar powders. Yeah. And you start to realize that like you are the opposite of the snake oil that is out there in the industry that people hate so much. And it's because, people get great results, and it's very easy to sell something that works so well and does everything that you say it will. Yeah. And people get such good results on. So, since I've reached out to you and, sent you a couple different products to try, what would you say are the biggest differences that you've noticed since you started taking Blackstone Labs supplements?
I'd say with EPI, like I definitely noticed as far as my transformation that my body has looked a lot more dry.
Okay.
The Halo Elite, I definitely noticed strength increase big time.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yep.
I did love the Paraburn and the Trojan Horse. I had to stop taking that. I had my whole caffeine problem.
Yeah, you were telling me some caffeine headaches.
Yeah, which was really bad. But
were you drinking like really coffee or Monsters or energy drinks too?
No, my body really doesn't react. It never has reacted good to caffeine in general.
Good to know.
So to go from like not taking, like I would randomly every weekend have like a Red Bull and a vodka. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to go on Paraburn, which I knew what was in it, like I said, I'm one of those people that just goes right into it, and I felt great. Like that is a great product, but the after effects of my body not used to caffeine and really depending on it because I took it for so long, oh man, it was a bad deal, but it worked so well.
Did when you would drink Red Bull and vodka, would you get like hyped up?
No, I'd be chilling.
Interesting. Because I remember when I was young and I would go out and we would drink Red Bull and vodka, but we would drink a lot of them, obviously.
Yeah.
It would be like you'd be like crazy after a while.
Yeah, that's how I get.
You'd get like nuts.
I can't drink Red Bull and vodka when I go out anymore.
Yeah, but it's like too much because if you're drinking a lot of them, that winds up being a shitload of fucking caffeine.
No, I know.
If you drink 10 Red Bull and vodkas, which for like a big guy, if you go out and you're getting wasted, you're going to drink probably 10 Red Bull and vodkas, right?
For sure.
How much caffeine is in a Red Bull?
Like 89
So if there's 80 and you drink 10, that's 800 milligrams of caffeine. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's 2 servings of Dust V2.
Even if you do half,
That's
it's
crazy.
still an entire pre-workout
Yeah.
with your vodka.
That's a pre-workout. Like if you take a pre-workout, you better go to the gym and burn that shit off. If you're going to the bar and doing that and you're thinning your blood with alcohol, like I specifically remember a much different kind of drunk on Red Bull and vodka and the hangover being very bad and then just being like, you know what? I'm not drinking these anymore. Oh, for me, I was a true meathead though, and I was drinking sugar-free Red Bull and vodka because I had to watch all those carbs, Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Vegas and I went to. You guys ever heard of Wet Splash?
Yes.
So I went there and I told the dude, "Yo, what's your best drink?" And he gave me a drink. It's called the Wet Splash. It was 32 ounces of Red Bull and vodka. I drank it. It tastes like Kool-Aid. It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm in the sun, chilling. I was like, let me have another one. So 64 ounces Red Bull vodka.
It's a lot.
I was gone. Like, I have video of me like in the bathroom, like singing. I'm in my drawers.
Yeah, because a Red Bull is like 8 ounces, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was.
And how many ounces did you have? 64?
64.
Yeah, so you had 8 Red Bulls, basically.
That's awesome.
It's a lot.
See, I just feel like anytime I go out, if I drink like, Red Bull and vodka, it makes perfect sense that you're basically drinking a pre-workout with your alcohol because like I just go out, I get drunk, and then like very easy for me to fight you.
Yeah.
Like,
You're all amped up on a pre-workout
I'm
too.
amped as fuck.
When you drink a pre-workout, you get aggressive anyway.
I'm not tired.
Yeah.
However tired I would have been is negating my sloppiness and my drunk. Now I'm just angry. You know?
Yeah.
It's what?
Strangely, Jack Daniels used to do that to me too, and there's no caffeine in there.
No, well, so I've noticed, like, you know, if I have Red Bull and vodka, I'll be far more aggressive than if I go out and have like whiskey and like Coke. You know what I'm saying? If I drink like Crown and Coke, I'm straight.
Yeah, I had a Jack and Coke phase.
Hennessy?
Yeah, Hennessy will get me like that. Just
Hennessy will get you
aggressive.
angry. Yeah. Hennessy will get you angry for
like
sure.
Hennessy. Shelby used to drink Crown Royal all the time. She'd have this gross ass Crown Royal in the house all the time, and she'd be all like lazy drinking it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shelby if she listens to this. Lazy drinking Crown.
It chills you out.
Yeah, I guess it does chill you out.
Yeah, Crown's
So-
definitely that cool drug.
I think that you know, this has been great. I've learned far more about you than I thought I would during this podcast.
Yeah.
You're a
I was
singer.
excited. I was really excited for it because I do love fitness. My body hasn't shown it yet, but I'm working for it.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
you can tell that you had an athletic background though.
Yeah.
When you were playing basketball in college,
Uh-huh.
do you care to say like where you played?
Yeah, Johnson & Wales University.
Oh, Johnson Wales, cool. I had
Yeah.
some friends that wrestled there actually.
Oh, serious?
Yeah,
That was a good school.
yeah, it's a very good school. Good academic school too.
Huh?
It's a good academic school too.
Oh, yeah. The business. The nice thing is like all my professors were actually in the industry. They weren't just teaching from a book.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like my main professor, he used to be the CEO of Dow Soap.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So what was your major?
Business administration and entrepreneurship.
Cool. Very cool. See that, guys? We probably should have asked that earlier. For anybody who's tuned out at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure that we started to lose people around the double anal question. I'm surprised Mike didn't just turn his camera off. Like, all right, this is enough.
I'd like it's like refreshing for me, you know, like.
Yeah, I know this might be a little bit hard for you to publish because we curse a lot and shit, so I don't know if it can go up on your page or not. But I mean,
No, it definitely can.
Okay.
For me, like for you guys, it's all about steroids and fitness. For me, it's all about what sneaker is coming out this year. What sneaker do you want? Blah, blah, blah. It just gets boring.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing for, I think, both of us.
No, it's we say it all the time. Like we're kind of tired of answering the same fucking, excuse my language, steroid questions all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like, go watch my video 5 videos ago. I answered this.
We say the same thing.
Yeah. We were even like thinking about doing something where it was just like, yo, we've got this question like 400 times. Just refer back to video 4, 9, 12, 72,
Yeah.
and 37.
I have a sheet of, this is here.
But the one thing that I know you get asked so much is like, how do you get sneaker brands to send you free sneakers? So I'm not going to ask you that, but what was the first sneaker brand to send you a free sneaker to review?
Adidas.
Really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They sent me like a whole like locker.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's cool.
Which what shoe was it?
It was the Climacool. I mean, it wasn't really a big like sneaker. It was just kind of like, oh, we're gonna send something to influencers, and it might be trash, but hey,
It might be trash.
Yeah.
Here's a question I have for you because so I'm not really into sneakers at all, right?
Yeah.
And so what I care about the most is performance when it comes to training in the gym, or I guess I would have to label it as like a CrossFit style of sneaker, right? So when people ask me all the time, like, what's the best to train in, I feel that Nike Huaraches are the best training shoes. They've got good ankle support. They feel good. You can do legs in them pretty hard, and you can do cardio in them too. From a performance standpoint, because you've played sports also and you've worked out, what do you think is the best performance shoe?
Right now, it's called the Puma Liquid Cell. It has been the best as far as comfort, cushion, and just the fact that you can, if you want to go for sprints in it, you can do legs. I think that's the most important. A lot of the Nike shoes kind of lack that ankle support and just being flat because, you know, the air bubble, if you're lifting too much weight, it might pop.
I saw
Your
somebody
ankle might
pop a
give
pair
out.
of shocks one time.
Yep.
And it literally, I'm not even making this up, it made like an explosion sound.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, what the fuck? And a dude literally, this was many years ago, Guy Cisternino will remember this, the dude's shock literally popped when he was squatting. And then his whole foot was like collapsed.
That's so dangerous,
Yeah.
right? And So between like that Puma Liquid Cell and Under Armour, The Rock has his actual signature shoe, and it has really good ankle support, and it's flat, so you can do legs.
I'm gonna check it
Like,
out then. I'll
yeah,
trust your advice on that.
yeah, I think it's a great option.
So I actually did see that there was another question in here for you and I as well that I forgot to go back to. It says, Josh, favorite pair of shoes you have your eye on at the moment? Also, when is the beardless Colonel making another appearance? And Mike, your all-time favorite sneaker?
So all-time favorite sneaker is the White Cement 4.
Okay, that's a good choice. I'm actually wearing the denim 4s right now.
I can't even see it.
I don't know if I'm getting it in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Boom. And I'm also donned in my St. Michael. Go and check out his clothing store of it. I think it's on your Instagram.
Little
right?
plug.
Yeah.
If you just go to his
Shameless plug.
Mike the Compass, and then on his bio you can hit his Instagram there. He doesn't follow anybody because that's how clothing companies do it. They don't follow anybody because they're putting out the new shit.
Exactly.
And I would say my favorite pair of shoes I have on my eye at the moment is I really want to get some more 4Ds. I was actually in the Aventura Mall yesterday, and we went into the Y3 store. They were doing 30% off of everything in the store, and they had those like, it's like, 4D is usually like a light green color, and then now
Yeah.
they're coming out with like it's almost like a pale yellow look.
Mm-hmm.
They had those in there, but they were $600, even 30% off. I was like, I'm not trying to do this right now. So
Pretty steep.
yeah,
Smart
I passed on
decision.
them.
At retail.
But I really think the next thing I'm going to pick up is the Nike Adapt, the Nike Mag version.
I just got lag.
Can you hear
Oh,
us?
he just got a
You guys
lag.
hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah.
The Adapt, the BB,
Yeah, I want to get the
self-flexing.
the ones that look like the mags, the gray ones.
Okay. Word.
Is it possible for you to pick of popular shoes what you feel is the worst?
Ooh.
Like where you're like, why the hell did people care about this shoe?
Yeah, the Balenciaga.
Oh,
A lot of people like the Balenciaga sock shoes.
Yeah, the
which
sock ones.
Everyone likes them. I hate them. I think they're absolute trash. Retail is very expensive, and it's just more of like, oh, this is designer. I'm better than you. Socks.
It really is too, because they just look terrible.
They're trash.
They
Big
just
trash.
look terrible. And like when you see somebody wearing them, it's almost like if you look down at their feet and then you make eye contact with them, they're looking at you like, you see my crazy expensive shoes. Look at
I
that
think
sock
that's a
with the
weird
sole.
trend.
How much do they cost?
Like 900.
Fucking $900 for sock shoes?
Yeah, they're literally sock shoes.
It's
That's
a sock
crazy.
on a sole.
It's weird.
Like it's the most hideous.
I'll tell you what I hated was in fitness, there was this weird phase where the Vibram shoes came out. Do you remember that?
Vibram.
So they were the shoes that individually went around each of your toes.
Yeah, I remember.
And
those.
all the guys that had big legs were like, I have big legs because I wear these fucking stupid shoes. And it became super popular. Even in the muscle magazines, they'd have guys working out in those dumbass shoes. And then finally this one doctor came out that was like, these are horrible for your feet. They're screwing up your feet really bad. And then somebody like tore the arch of his foot squatting really heavy or something in them. And then they like died, and I don't see them anywhere now.
Well, because nobody really needs toe grip when they're doing.
No,
deadlifts.
and anyone that has really big legs just genetically has big legs most of the time. It's not because of their silly shoes.
No toe grip is helping that.
Yeah,
That was a
Vibram
huge
they were
trend.
called.
That's hilarious.
They were called Vibrams, yeah. Ridiculous.
Well,
So I have one more question about like legs. You guys
Yes.
recommend lifting heavy to build legs, low reps? My legs are so skinny, I don't know what to do.
I think that the key to legs is variety anyway, but legs need volume. You know, it's not like the bicep where you can do a couple of different curl exercises and they're going to be tired and they're going to respond well. The leg it's half of your body.
Yeah.
So you've got to stimulate your hamstrings, you got to stimulate your quads, you got to do compound exercises where you're getting them both together at the same time. And I've found that, I've been training now for 27 years, and for me, when my legs really started growing a lot, now I started out as a powerlifter, so I was squatting super, super heavy all the time, and I had strong legs, and I had okay legs. But when my legs started to really, really grow was when I got into more volume and reps, and so I found the legs respond very, very good to sets of 15 to 20 reps, but it's got to be where you're dying at like 17. You know, I mean, you're going for 20, but you're dead at 17. You can't get that 20. So if you're just doing 20 and stopping, and you probably could have did 23, 24, 25, then you're not going to tap into that growth the right way.
For sure, and that's what Josh was telling me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm by far the worst person to ask for leg advice because I've got the worst legs because I just don't care. But volume, hands down, is going to be the way to go. It's just like he said, being half your body. If you don't really fill those muscles full of blood and keep them full of a lot of blood for a while and for multiple days during the week, it's just going to be hard to make them grow. In the same way that he was saying that, like, it's hard for guys to grow without carbs. Like, if you're not filling your legs full of carbs and blood, it's going to be hard to make them stretch that muscle and grow.
Got a lot of work to do, like I said.
Hey, you and me both, bro. I think you're probably farther ahead.
Get in there and do it.
Yeah.
So I think that this has been a great podcast with you, man. I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to.
Thanks for having me. I definitely appreciate it.
It was a good one. It was definitely different.
Good variety, I think.
And we got a lot of variety on this one, which was fun.
For sure.
I'd much rather talk about different stuff, for sure.
Yep.
So
anybody else that maybe if you guys want to recommend somebody to come on the podcast, it's like, Mike, we're not all, bodybuilders in the world. Some of us are sneakerheads that are trying to get fit and trying to get jacked and trying to stay shredded. And,
Exactly.
we want to have a good variety on here. And like I said, we appreciate you coming on and giving us the great content you did today. And hopefully in the future here soon, you'll start seeing some great code uses, and we'll just move you down here to Boca.
And your legs will grow. That's what we want the most, is for your legs to grow.
Well, that's why we started this whole thing.
Let's get it.
Started the whole journey to get the legs to grow, so that's how we're going to finish it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, and this, like we always do, with a peace out, bye.